Yeah, it's your boy S.
BO got that sound, boy.
About to stack up them commas.
There we go. Yeah. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? Yeah. We up in here. Let's get these likes and these shares up real quick. Before we get started. You know, just want to have a quick wrestle chat with y'all folks. Let's get these likes and shares up real quick. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Or it might be morning where you at. It's almost afternoon where I'm at. But good morning anyway. Yeah. It might be morning where you at. It's about to be afternoon on this end. This end. It might be morning where you at. It's about to be afternoon on this end. This end. Yeah. Yeah, let's get these likes up. Whoever's in here, help a brother out. Let's get these likes up. Let's get to like at least 1K hearts and a few shares real quick. Let's get them shares up, and then we could talk. We could have a little discussion real quick. Me and Jay Styles was talking about the whole Sabu situation. We're definitely going to talk about that on the pod. You know, there's a lot of things to be discussed. I don't know if y'all seen the episode with Wrestle Talk and how they spoke on about Sabu and what was being said. You know, so there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on with that whole situation. So, you know, a few of the wrestling outlets are trying to give clarity on the whole Sabu situation because it was definitely sudden. Honestly, it was real sudden. So, yeah. But, yeah, we gonna chop it up. Appreciate y'all if y'all was part of the last few lives I've had. Man, like, I think I'm starting to get fatigued a little bit. I got my lemon water. I think I'm starting to receive internet fatigue, man, because, you know what I'm saying? I had to drink some lemon water. Conscious was good, bro. Had to drink some lemon water and, I mean, wake me up. Get that alkaline in my system, you know what I'm saying? You know, so, yeah. Yeah, man, I was like super, might be getting a little bit fatigued. So, you know what I mean? This is probably the most consistent I've been with my wrestling content in a minute. You know, I ain't even going front. This has probably been the most consistent I've been with it. You know, the funny thing about it is that my other channel is monetized. My wrestling channel ain't monetized yet on YouTube. You know, and I don't even know how the monetization process works on TikTok. I think my channel is monetized on TikTok. I'm not 100%. You know, if anybody knows the answers to those questions, please tell me because I don't know. I don't know, man. It's kind of, I mean, TikTok kind of handles their things differently. So, I don't know. But yeah. OVW, what's good, bro? What's good? Yeah, I got the TikTok studio on my phone. I got that. Yeah. Yup. We almost there, folks. We almost there. You know what I mean? We get this thing started. I gotta keep my promises too, man. Like every time we do these lives, I say I'm gonna be on live for like an hour. That live end up lasting like 3 hours. Like, jeez, man. Yo, I said last night that we was gonna go live. I said 1 hour, hour and a half. I look back at that clock. It was like 1:30 in the morning. I said, yo, I gotta go to bed. I gotta be at work tomorrow. Like, real talk. I gotta be a little bit more. I gotta be little bit more courteous of these lives, man. Cause when them conversations get real deep, man, like it's hard to just jump off the live so quickly. Yeah, bro. I gotta chill, man. I'm not no spring chicken, bro. Like I was like, like right now, you see my eyes. See my eyes, I'm feeling it. This lemon water is like keeping me alive though. This lemon water right here, lemon water. Y'all see this right here, this joint right here? It's a hydronized bottle. I press the button like this, right? It hydronizes my water. It's the closest thing I could get to alkaline right now until I actually get an alkaline water machine. So I'm using this right here. I got some lemons in there. You start getting to a certain age, you start thinking about health and fitness and all this type of stuff. And when I was younger, I was like, man, my youth is going to help me. Yeah, I'm doing all types of things just to stay in active mode, you know? But yeah. We almost there, folks. 962. Let's get to 1,000 likes. Help me out, folks. 1,000 likes. Let's get some shares. Let's get some shares up in this joint right quick. Let's get some shares, man. Let's see. Let me see who else. Boom, 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 boom. Let's get some people up in here. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. All right. So continue to share. We're going to start letting people up. Yo.
What's up?
What up? Yo.
What's up?
What up?
Yeah, so we got a lot to talk about regarding Sabu, that a lot of wrestling fans don't know. You know, Sabu was one of the ECW originals that had wrestled in all three major promotions at the time during the 1990s. That was WWE, WCW, and ECW.
Yeah.
And he is actually, if you include the different promotions, smaller promotions, he is a six-time world champion. That's just a two-time ECW world champion. He's a six-time world champion over his entire career. It's sad that he passed away at the age of 61. He didn't really have a true retirement match, and the last match he did was actually a wrestling match. That was more of a fight in a wrestling ring, in which she was asked to be a part of. where he used his steel chair leg drop maneuver in the segment, as far as the shoot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of people forgot too that Sabu was in WCW as well. He wrestled against Alex Wright.
Yep. He had a feud with Disco Inferno. And he had with Mr. Hughes. He had a few with Mr. Hughes too at the time.
Yeah, I remember that. And if you go on YouTube, you can find the match between him and Alex Wright too. If you go on YouTube.
Yep. I think his most memorable matches that people are going to recognize for is the ECW stuff. The feud with Taz, the feud with Sandman, teaming up with Tommy Dreamer, going up against the Dudley Boys for the tag team titles.
Mm-hmm. That is very true. Very, very, very true. Very, very.
How you gonna remember Sabu, Bob?
Man, I honestly remember Sabu for most of his ECW stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember him all for those things. I know he wrestled for every single major promotion, but I only remember him for ECW stuff the most. You know what I mean? I remember when I believe him and RVD were tag champions.
They were.
At the time. I remember they were tag champions. I remember his match with Terry Funk. He had a bunch of matches with Terry Funk. I remember this one.
The heel match.
Yeah.
That was in 1986.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he had a bunch of matches with Terry Funk, man. His matches with Terry Funk was vicious, man. Like, man, that guy took a beating on his body. Like, it was so crazy on how he brutalized himself to entertain others. And I'm not saying most wrestlers don't do that anyway, but Sabu, that guy, man, there's few wrestlers in professional wrestling that I've watched that brutalized themselves just to entertain us fans. One of them was Sabu. The other one was New Jack. These guys did some crazy stuff in ECW and other promotions. This is kind of why, like, people like New Jack couldn't even get into the mainstream joint. Sabu got in there for a short stint with the mainstream promotions, but as you can see, it didn't last long because the guy was ruthless. Like, he throws the chair, drop kicks the chair, then use the chair as a prop. Like, he was one of the first ones that used that chair as the prop and then jumps off the chair. Like, now you see people like
the Hardy
Boys do it. You see Mark Briscoe does it. Briscoe does it. But Sabu was one of the first guys to do that.
And even Street Profits do it, and the Usos have done it a few times as well as New Day.
Right. Yep, true. Very, very true. Like, yeah. But
so I'm looking at on Sabu's Wikipedia page how many championships particularly he won in ECW. 2-time ECW heavyweight champion, 1-time FCW heavyweight champion, 1-time World Television champion, 3 times World Tag Team champion, 1-time King of the Hill, and the second ECW Triple Crown winner.
Wow. Man, it's a shame. Man, what how he went out, man. That's messed up. And I'm only saying that, like, I'm saying this for a few reasons too, because like I strongly believe that the professional wrestlers gotta get some sort of union, bro. Because I don't feel like these wrestlers should be wrestling way into their 60s or beyond that, man. Like unless you're in some sort of efficient shape, I don't feel like you should be doing that, man. Like I feel like when it's time to call the quits, you know what I'm saying? Just go. Just finish out your career on a high note and go. You know.
But unfortunately, a lot of these rappers make bad investment decisions with managers or agents they have telling them they should invest in this and put their money into this. And they start these little businesses and everything outside the wrestling business, and they don't make a profit. They end up owing and back taxes and tax liens. So it exhausts their safety net or nest egg for retirement that they have to continue wrestling beyond the years they should be wrestling.
Yeah.
Prime example, look at the Ric Flair and Terry Funk.
That's crazy. That is crazy, man. Like this guy, like I seen the photos and leave it up to like the paparazzi type of folk. They ain't even taking his best photos as far as that last event he was at. They had to get the photo of him. Like first of all, he wasn't in like super shape. You know what I mean? Like I remember seeing Sabu, even though he had all those scars. I remember dude used to be ripped. He used to be ripped. You know what I mean? And but them bumps he used to take, I was thinking until they came out with that information about that you know, I'm gonna use TikTok language about the whatever. What it's called, chronic or something, whatever they call that thing. You know what I'm saying? I was unfamiliar with that. So now they got me, you know what I mean, being in the field I'm in. Now I want to do research because I'm like, I never heard of such a thing. I didn't even know what that even existed. You know what I mean? So
here's the thing about Sabu that a lot of people don't know. As far as the ring name he went by. We all strictly know him as Sabu. But he had great Sabu the Elephant Boy, that move. Terry F.R., Terry Snooker, Terry Grumpus, which is his legal name, and Sabu was the Jungle.
So you said Sabu Snooker, like Superfly Jimmy Snooker?
No, Terry Snooker, like Superfly Jimmy Snooker. I remember this Terry Snooker gimmick. The Terry Snooker gimmick was when he first came on the scene back in the early 90s, like between 88 to 90. He was known as Terry Snooker.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool. That's cool. Let me ask you this: you say Terry Snooker. So did him and Superfly Jimmy Snooker ever encounter one another?
Yeah. AEW.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, ECW the first inception of ECW, they had him wrestle, and they were saying that he was supposed to be the nephew of Jimmy Superfly Snooker.
He could have got away with that. For sure. He definitely could have got away with being a nephew of Superfly Jimmy Snooker. He definitely could have got away with that. Yeah. I wanna welcome Snug. I wanna welcome Snug to the live. And I wanna welcome Brian Hutt to the live. I mean, what's good, people?
Everything's all good. How's everyone doing?
Yeah, what's good?
What's up, man?
Brian Hutt, what's good with you, man? Can you hear me? Is he there?
I don't know.
We'll come back to him. I'll give him a few minutes. Anyway, we currently discussing Superfly Jimmy Snooker and Sabu and the untimely unalive live of Sabu. You know what I mean? So we just are talking about, matches that we remember him in. his accomplishments and things of that nature. That's all we doing really. So Dub, we start with you, bro. Like what's your remembrance of Sabu, man?
Man,
My
I'm
bad.
at
I'm
work,
at work,
so
so
I had to
I
mute
had to
up for a
mute
little
up for a
bit.
little bit.
Okay.
Uh,
Uh,
yeah, you have to
yeah, you
let
have
me
to
think
let me
about
think
that
about
real
that
quick.
real quick.
Go ahead and
Go
go to
ahead and go to
somebody
somebody
else.
else.
I gotta
I gotta
grab a few
grab a
things
few
from my
things
work
from my
truck
work
and get
truck
back
and
in
get
the
back
work
in the
truck,
work
and then
truck,
I'll
and
get
then
back
I'll
on
get
the
back on
answer.
the answer.
Okay. All right. What about you, Snug? Your remembrance of Sabu?
What's up,
What's up,
everyone?
everyone?
So
So
I got
I got
to.
to.
I'm sorry, I hear an
Sorry, I hear an
echo.
echo.
Is that me?
Is that me?
I don't know. I don't know.
You don't hear no
You don't hear
echo?
no echo?
No, I don't hear anything.
All right,
All
cool.
right, cool.
Yeah.
Uh,
Uh,
so for me
so for me
personally,
personally,
do you guys
do you
remember
guys
the
remember
day
the
that
day that
Sabu showed
Sabu
up in
showed up in
AEW in that
AEW in that pay
pay-per-view?
per view?
Yeah. Yes, I
So,
do.
so
So
that
that
day
day
specifically,
specifically,
I got to
I got
meet
to meet
Sabu.
Sabu.
So that
So that
pay-per-view
pay per
was in
view was
Las
in Las
Vegas.
Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
That
That
morning,
morning,
Sabu
Sabu
was in my
was in my
hometown here in
hometown here in
Sacramento,
Sacramento,
California,
California,
doing like
doing like
a
a
meet and
meet
greet.
and greet.
So it
So
was
it was
crazy
crazy
to
to
see
see
him
him
in
in
person
person
and then
and then
seeing him
seeing
on
him on
TV on
TV on pay
pay-per-view
per view
the very
the very
same day.
same day.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
he was
he
really
was really
cool.
cool.
Got to take a
Got to take a
picture with
picture
him
with
and
him
got to
and
talk
got to
to him
talk
a
to
little
him a little
bit.
bit.
So
So
that
that
was
was
my
my
memory of
memory of
Sabu. And
Sabu. And
then
then
I was
I
seeing
was
some
seeing
of the
some of the
interviews he
interviews
was
he was
doing where he
doing where
was
he
like
was like
straight
straight
shooting
shooting
on
on
WWE.
WWE.
Oh,
Oh,
I probably
I
can't
probably
say
can't say
shooting
shooting
on
on
TikTok.
TikTok.
But
But
the
the
fact that
fact
they
that
did a
they did a
debut
debut
package on
package
him
on
last
him
night on
last night
Raw
on Raw
a couple
a couple
times,
times,
I was kind
I
of
was kind of
surprised by
surprised
that
by
because
that because
Sabu
Sabu
has
has
never
never
held back
held back
about
about
how he
how
really
he really
feels
feels
about
about
WWE, Vince
WWE, Vince
McMahon,
McMahon,
Triple H,
Triple H,
Stephanie,
Stephanie,
and
and
basically
basically
everyone in
everyone
that
in that
company.
company.
So I was
So I
just
was just
wondering,
wondering,
like, I
like, I
wonder how
wonder
he
how
would
he would
really feel
really feel
about
about
the
the
fact that
fact that
WWE is
WWE is
paying
paying
tribute to
tribute to
him.
him.
But yeah,
But yeah,
that's
that's
Well,
my
well, you
memory
know
of
what
memory of
that's about.
Sabu.
Sabu.
Well, you know what that's about, right? You know what that's about. They got they got Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman is under WWE, so you know what that's about. And a lot of the former ECW wrestlers were under WWE, and not for nothing, we all know that ECW was owned by WWE once before. So it's like we all know what that's about. I'm not saying they wasn't genuine with it. I'm just saying like that was like following protocol. It's the same thing like when Jay Briscoe passed. We know the Briscoes never got a chance to work in WWE, but they did hold tribute to Jay Briscoe, and then you did see people with the Jay Briscoe wrist or armband and all that stuff. So you know what I mean? Like so that's what that was about. I
Yeah,
remember.
it makes
It makes
sense.
sense.
Excuse me,
Excuse me.
it
As
makes
it makes
sense.
sense.
But
But
if you
if
guys
you
go
guys go
back and
back and
listen to
listen to
some of
some
those
of those
interviews
interviews
Sabu did
Sabu
on
did on
WWE,
WWE,
man, when
man,
I'm
when I'm
telling
telling
you,
you,
he
he
was not
was not
holding
holding
back. He
back.
was
He
not
was not
holding
holding
back.
back.
Everything
Everything
from
from
even
even
talking
talking
about
about
Pat
Pat
Patterson
Patterson
and the
and the
whole
whole
Rainbow
Rainbow
scandal and
scandal and
everything.
everything.
Damn, really?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
would
he
say
would say
some
some
crazy
crazy
shit
shit
about
about
WWE.
WWE,
And I
and
think
I think
that's one
that's
of the
one of the
reasons
reasons
they
they
didn't
didn't
put
put
him
him
in the
in the
Hall of
Hall of
Fame,
Fame,
which
which
Sami
Sami
Zayn is
Zayn is
claiming
claiming
that he
that
was
he was
pushing for
pushing for
that.
that.
But
But
that's
that's
why I thought
why I
it was
thought it
so
was so
crazy.
crazy.
Although it
Although it
makes
makes
sense,
sense,
Mm,
Sabu would
Sabu would
talk his
talk his
shit when
shit
it
when it
comes to
comes to
pictures. So
pictures.
it was
So
just
it was
funny to
funny to
see a
see a
tribute
tribute
package.
package,
But I'm
but I'm
glad they
glad
did
they
it.
did it.
yeah, I'm glad they did too, man. Like, I think at the end of the day, man, all that personal stuff should just be put aside because at the end of the day, the wrestling world is just one big community. And a lot of these people, man, even though a lot of these people are not enemies, man, they just got friends that work for different companies. So I don't feel like it's fair to like, hold his personal feelings against him as far as what the company is. He's speaking on the company. He's not necessarily speaking on like, I mean, well, he had certain feelings about certain individuals, but for the most part, like, I don't really know Sabu of having any real like enemies. You know what I mean? Like I haven't heard nothing about him in the tabloids like that besides him and his extreme activities with his wrestling and other stuff I can't really mention on TikTok, but y'all know what I'm saying. So like
even they busted up with radio yesterday. When they did a tribute show to him. Both Bubba Ray, Bully Ray.
BARZ, if you mute your mic, the echo go away.
Okay, hold on. Let me see. Can I even mute my joint?
Yeah, Bully Ray was saying that the time that when they were together and we got over WWE, how the boys and girls and all admired him, would come to him some pointers before the match or after the match. So there's a lot of love they have for Sabu. So even though a lot of this newer generation probably don't know who Sabu was unless they saw stuff that Paul Heyman showed them. They still would like it's a community, one big community. So when a fellow wrestler goes down, you're going to pay homage some sort of way out of respect.
I definitely agree with that. I'm trying to mute the mic. I can't find the selection on how to on muting my mic. So then, like it did show up on my one time, but I don't see it no more. So I'm gonna just get real quiet when everybody else is talking. So then that way it could be as clear as possible. Yeah, Ladybug, what's up?
Good morning.
Good morning. Yo, oh yeah, I know. Yeah, are you familiar with Sabu?
I am. Like I was saying, I don't have the most clear memory because I was really younger, but I definitely remember him in ECW.
Yeah. What's your clearest memory of him as far as his in-ring work?
Oh God. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. Like I don't have to go into specifics in that. I just remember when I was growing up, I watched ECW with my grandma, and I like the look of it. Like I was like state. So I don't remember exactly who he was going against, but I remember his face. I remember seeing him a lot. I remember seeing New Jack. Like those are my favorite memories. But I'm gonna go back to it.
Yeah, like a lot. Like I was just telling Jay Styles, like a lot of people, don't know that Sabu wrestled for every mainstream promotion. While he was active, every single one. He at least had one, two, or multiple matches. And he even wrestled for WCW at one point. Because I remember that, John, because we just like I told Styles, he wrestled against Alex Wright. I believe even Public Enemy was on that same card that night too for Nitro. I remember he wrestled against Alex Wright and he put Alex Wright through a table and they disqualified him and they gave Alex Wright the match. I remember it went down something like that. If you look it up on YouTube, you'll see. Like it was real. It was pretty cool. A lot of people don't, are not familiar. Like he really did.
I was familiar enough to know. I think when he was at WrestleMania, my husband was like, "How come nobody stopped me from going to the ring?" And I'm like, "They wouldn't do that." They won't do
it. New sports. What's good?
Hey, good morning, man. How y'all doing?
I'm cool. Your memories of Sabu. What's your fondest memories of Sabu as far as its in-ring work?
Man, he's had, of course, all the bangers he's had with Taz, but he did one really, really good match back in ECW with Mick Foley. And I don't remember the year.
Yeah.
But I watched it recently because Mick Foley was doing it was an interview or something like that. He just name dropped Sabu, and I was like, let me check this out real quick. and it was pretty damn good, man. So y'all go look it up.
Yeah, man. Mick Foley and AKA Cactus Jack and Sabu, they had some ring wars, man. Like man, those guys were rough. You talking about hardcore extreme activity? Like these guys took it to a whole nother level, man. And like, if you really, can you imagine? Hey, check this out. Can you imagine a prime Sabu going up against Moxley in the AEW ring? Yo, you talking? You think they were talking about Moxley when he took the nails bat to the back? Man, like they'll really be going in on that match. Like the IWC will be on fire if that match was ever to occur, man. Like man, that
I'm
was.
gonna say this. Like my first memories of wrestling were not with Dana Vito or anything else. It was with ESZ. I just looked up because like when I was little, it was a PLE on my birthday. ECU house party. That was my sister's birthday.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I do remember that. I'm gonna have to go back and actually watch that.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know. When you watch it, like let us know what you thought. You know, I'm anxious to hear other people's opinions because Sabu had a lot of ring wars, man. He had a lot of scars too. On top of that, man, my thing was, and then I want to go to Goblin and hear his thoughts. My thing was, man, like I feel like his team should have just like they should have seen his best interest as far as his health, and they shouldn't have like let him get involved in like certain situations because like man like and because you see if you see how the IWC is eating this all up, you know that everybody's like speculating and throwing up all these like allegations or whatever. You know what I mean? Allegedly. And they don't even know the like true facts or whatever, what really happened to guy or why the really guy, you know, had this sudden unalive, like all of a sudden, like, nobody really knows, man. You know, like I hate seeing that because everybody's up speculating. But Exhausted, what's good, man?
What's good, bro?
Yeah, did you what's your fondest memories of Sabu, man, as far as like his in-ring work?
Man, probably. I mean, I think the first time I saw Sabu was Barely Legal, their first live pay-per-view. And I mean, it's him and Taz, you know what I mean? Like, when you think of Sabu, again, you think of, like, the Benoit, the broken neck situation, or, like, his spots. But yeah, I think it was like 13 at the time. And yeah, like Taz and Sabu, that's kind of fucking one of the. I mean, probably all of wrestling, but ECW. That's up there with Tommy Dreamer versus Raven and Rob Van Dam, Jerry Lynn. Like that's the rivalry. But yeah, man. I remember me and my friends. Like again, at that time, it wasn't like it is now, where everything's super accessible. Everything's on the internet. It was my friend. I think it was like my freshman year. He was like, "Have you seen ECW? Like it's fucking super cool. They use weapons and they use tables and all this stuff." And he gave me like a VHS tape, again, tape trader style, you know. He gave me a cassette of Barely Legal, and I remember seeing Rob Van Dam. I think it was on Raw before that, how he became Mr. Monday Night. So I remember seeing that. I think that was like the opening match. And then I was like, oh yeah, I know him. I remember that guy. And then I think it was like the second match, third match, Taz and RVD, or Taz and Sabu. And yeah, dude, that match was fucking awesome. And like from then on, it was like, oh, this is the real deal. This is a cool fucking show. Like this was the cool brand, you know what I mean? I remember all through high school, and up until like the TNN contract, and then when WWE bought them, it was like, oh, they were the cool brand. They were the counterculture of pro wrestling, you know? So just all those memories of Sabu in the ring, he's synonymous. He's synonymous with ECW, you know what I mean? Probably as much as anybody else. So yeah, man, I mean, it was sad. It was sad, but you know, like I was talking to my nephew, because my nephew's like 16 and he's super into wrestling, but he hasn't like dug deep into the history of wrestling, and telling him like, yeah, man, like all those, like he was like, look, he's got all these like cuts on his body and stuff like that. I'm like, nah, bro, those are scars. Like, look at his forehead. His forehead isn't those aren't wrinkles. Those are scars. Those are from his matches and things like that. So, you know, yeah, man, Taz is. I mean, Sabu's a legend, man. So Sabu's going down with. I mean, when you think of like the hardcore guys, you always think of Mick Foley, Cactus Jack. You think of Terry Funk. I mean, he's probably number 3. You know, I mean, if you think of hardcore matches and you think of barbed wire, you think of tables, you think of like, you know, things like that, like his leg drop with the chair, like that spot, like how many times has Jeff Hardy done that, or Matt Hardy? How many times has, you know what I mean, like other legends taken the spots that he's made famous, you know, the bridging the table from the ring to the ring barrier, and putting them through it, you know what I mean? Like those are moves that I just think that's Sabu, like that's his influence on the wrestling business, you know.
You ain't never lying. We just said that too. Like he definitely was the innovator of a lot of moves, man. And like you see the wrestlers do it now, like you see Mark Briscoe do it, putting the chair in the ring and leaping off the chair, going over the ropes, man, and then landing on his opposition, or doing a front flip over the ropes and landing on his opposition. Now, who can forget that Arabian leg drop, or that face buster that he used to do? Like he used to put the chair on top of your face and then go to the top rope, like, and do it. Like another person that did that move was Psychosis. Psychosis used to do the exact same move, but I thought Sabu's was a little bit more devastating, man, because he will always leap off the chair and do it, or he'll go to the top rope and flip and do it, almost like the Harlem Hangover that Booker T used to do, and he'll do it. And I'm like, yo, man, this dude is crazy, man. Like I used to say to myself, watching as a kid, I'm like, why do that? This guy is not getting up. Why? But it used to be nuts, man. And Sabu was wild, man. Yeah. Panda, what's good, bro? Yeah,
he definitely is the king of extreme.
Yeah, man. He's definitely one of the originators. Like, this is another question I got for y'all. If y'all had to, and I don't know if this question was asked before, but if y'all had to build a Mount Rushmore of extreme wrestlers, who would be on that Mount Rushmore? Anybody can start and answer. Extreme Mount Rushmore of professional wrestlers.
I mean, like I said, it's got to be Mick Foley. I mean, just like the exploding rings and the barbed wire matches with Terry Funk. Like, again, I know there's a lot of guys in Japan. I know there's quite a few guys in Japan that probably did it. I'm not too familiar with. I'm sure Jay would probably know more of the international hardcore guys. But like the guys that I think of is just like, it's kind of weird too, because it was kind of his shtick, but I would say other than Sabu, it's got to be maybe New Jack. I mean, infamously New Jack, especially with the mass transit incident. And I mean, dude used to come to the ring with a shopping cart full of weapons, and and he'd play and Natural Born Killers was playing throughout his entire match. Like, so I mean, if it's not him, again, it's more the quantity over quality. But like, if it's not New Jack, it's like Sandman. You know what I mean? Like I mean, the kendo stick is synonymous with hardcore wrestling, especially like, you know what I mean? Oh, the smack and the crack of the kendo stick. You know what I mean? People, you hear that sound and you know immediately what that is. You know, so, and that's all Sandman. That's from the ECW days. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's tough too because Sandman he was like the definition of extreme. The Zubas, smoking a cigarette, drinking a beer, busting himself open before the match even started. Like, that's pretty extreme, you know what I mean? And again, I don't know if it's
Sandman is Stone Cold's extreme. I mean, that's just
Well, the
cracked
thing
out
about
Stone Cold, man.
yeah,
the,
but
the thing
yeah,
about
I
the
gotta
thing
I gotta
about
think.
Sandman
Go
and the
ahead, Jay, go
kendo
ahead.
stick though, Goblin, is that it's actually back in the 70s and 80s. The Sheik, the original Sheik, Sabu's uncle, he was using bamboo sticks. Him, Abdullah the Butcher, they were using bamboo sticks.
Crazy back then.
So the kendo stick was more what Sandman got from over in New Japan from Antonio Inaki against the great Baba. That's where that came from. He took that from his days over in New Japan before he came back over to the States. So it was all a revolving door. They just that in Japan you can't use bamboo sticks because that's in Japanese and Chinese culture it's forbidden to use animal plant as a weapon.
And you had back in the 90s, you had the Singapore cane because of the incident with the men in Singapore who got
caned for spitting in public.
Yeah, they got caned with the Singapore cane. I mean, it's funny because even in Natural Born Killers, Ice Cube talks about it in the lyrics to Natural Born Killers. So yeah, but like I said, I ranted and raved, but Cactus Jack, Terry Funk, Sabu, and New Jack. That's probably, again, I know there's probably guys in Japan that are way more hardcore, and but yeah, I would say that those guys, especially for North America, like you think of hardcore wrestling, you got to think of those guys.
Well, here's the thing, and I was telling BARZ this before he went live. We were on the phone. He and I were on a phone call. Extreme wrestling, what we know it as, because of the term it was given, actually innovated and was created during the 1960s and 70s by the Funk Brothers, Terry and Dory Funk Jr. They were the innovators of hardcore wrestling because they used to use a lot of times. They had Texas Death Rope matches or Texas Death matches, or they had the Bullhorn match, or they had the Bull Rope match, or they had the Texas Barbed Wire matches back then in the 60s and 70s. So they innovated it. It's just that by the time you got to the 80s, it became the demand of seeing blood from a heel to a face or a face to a heel was like, we need to change the perception of these matches. We need to make it more of a gimmicky type of style. Then they went from a gimmicky type of style wrestling match to an actual genre by itself of hardcore. Hardcore in Japan has always been there, but it was a gimmick match. It was a special match. They had like you said, your Singapore canes or your kendo stick matches. You even had, to a degree, face painted wrestlers like the great Tiger being a masked wrestler and a painted wrestler, and the great Muda as well. They use variations of the kendo stick, the Singapore cane. They even use. I remember when the great Muda in Japan, before you came over to WCW, had a feud with Sting and Iron Anderson. He would use actually a spike. He would use a spike as a weapon. So it's just that.
I don't want to cut you off real quick. I just wanted to give the bottom panel to give it speak real quick. So I start off with since he just came in, BJJ, what's good, bro? Like, what's your fondest memory matches of the great Sabu? Hello?
Yeah, I don't know who Sabu is.
You don't know who Sabu is? You don't know Sabu, bro?
Bro?
Hello?
Put me on. Who's Sabu? He said, help him out.
Sabu, all right. So Sabu is one of the most recognized extreme wrestlers in professional wrestling history. Like, he started off. Jay could give you the rundown where he started at, but most of us in the panel know him for ECW. You know what I'm saying? We know him from ECW, Extreme Championship Wrestling. We know him for his run-ins with Terry Funk. We know him for his run-ins with Rob Van Dam, Taz. The list goes on and on with his rivalries or whatever. So are you familiar with the guys I just mentioned?
No.
No? Do you
You
watch?
gotta be new to wrestling, then, right?
You gotta be new to wrestling then.
Yeah, I never watched it.
You never watched
wrestling?
Never watched professional wrestling?
No, never watched professional wrestling.
What you capping, man? You capping, bro. You capping? You capping, bro?
No, I came here to learn.
Really? Oh man, well, all right. So we got you in the right place, because we all are very knowledgeable on wrestling. So you in the right place. I'm going to go over to Lurch, and then I'm gonna go over to Panda. Lurch was good. Cooling, man. Your fondest memories of Sabu and his matches, man.
I mean, there's so many to... Am I echoing on you guys then?
You might.
Yeah.
I'm going mute. You can go ahead and talk. I'm on mute.
Okay.
It's probably coming from me. I'm on mute.
Yeah, so I mean, there's so many matches to think of off the top of my head. I mean, of course, his time in ECW, you can't negate that. Even if you guys aren't a fan of TNA, the time that he spent in TNA with like Abyss and stuff, I mean, I've just been reposting shit that I've seen that like I haven't even remembered about until I've seen it again. Like, I just put one up on my story on Instagram. Apparently, he fought La Parca in Mexico with he had a Juggalo pants on with the American towel on his head and shit. That shit was wild.
Which one? Which park are you talking about?
I think it was La Parca that passed away.
Oh, okay, not the one in WCW.
Nah, well, it might have been. I don't know, because the whole La Parca thing for me is so confusing when they talk about it, because there's LA.
I didn't know that. I didn't know it was two different La Parcas like that. So dang.
Yeah, now there's La Parca 3. La Parca 3 is now the new. They're giving him basically the lineage and everything to carry on. He's got the blessing from the family and everything. He's got a little different look, a variation, which makes sense because he's a new version, I guess. But the Sabu thing, honestly. Go watch his last match. Go watch that last match with Joey Janela on GCW Triller. You can get the first week free for signing up for Triller. If you don't want to keep it, it's like $7.99 a month anyway. But yeah, that match was just insane. I can't get it out of my head. I've only watched it one time. Just the bumps that Sabu took were just that Sabu. Like, I mean, he lived up to everything in his name. Sorry to go long-winded there, brother. My bad.
Nah, you good, bro. You good, man. It's cool. Yeah, man, Sabu was one of a kind, man. One of a kind. So we usually give the newcomers on the live homework. So we're gonna give you some homework. We hope you do your homework tonight, DK. We hope you do your homework. We're gonna give you some homework tonight, so then you can go back and look at these Sabu matches. And then the next time we go live, we're gonna expect you to know some stuff about Sabu. Is that cool? You still there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we got you. We got you. You know what I'm saying? You're in a good company of folk that know wrestling. You know what I'm saying? So, Panda, what's good, man?
What's up? Yeah, to DK, we like professional wrestling. I like professional wrestling because I grew up with catch wrestling, like the Luthes type, Josh Barnett. A lot of like old school like professional wrestlers have a catch wrestling background. Billy Robinson. I don't know, like if you've ever went to the Billy Robinson, like when he was out there giving seminars, grappling seminars, submission grappling seminars. But yeah, it's a different art form because back in the day, like you can't just like like you do in a regular match and hurt people, but like, it's a beautiful art form and it's fun, and a lot of the guys on the panel, like we enjoy this crazy thing called like professional wrestling, and yeah, give it a shot. I think it's a good thing. My favorite memory of Sabu obviously was him and Taz. They was just they were putting it on the map, but like for that Mount Rushmore, I gotta say Terry Funk, because Terry Funk used to put it on the Von Erichs, and then also like Dusty Rhodes, low key was a great hardcore wrestler. Abdullah the Butcher, not only was he a good professional wrestler, he had a good restaurant. His ribs were awesome. And Dick Togo, like Jay could tell you, Dick Togo was the man. So those are my favorites. Oh, and shout out to evil ass Angel down there. I can feel the dark vibes coming through.
She gave me anxiety. She gave me anxiety. I saw Angel, I fucking lit up. I said, "Oh man."
I know Angel like comes in like to bring all the hate, dog.
Oh no, you leave baby
No,
girl
not in a
alone.
bad way. Like Angel's one of those girls that you could tell that she instigates like violence, dog. Like
Oh yeah, she chooses violence. There she comes. I know.
yeah,
She
like
comes.
violence wakes up in the morning and chooses Angel.
Yeah, she had the kendo stick last night. You ain't see? She had the kendo stick last night.
Yeah.
Well, he had the kendo stick. You gotta pay extra for the kendo stick stuff.
She had the kendo stick last night, man. She ran what's his face up out of there, man.
I didn't want no smoke. I didn't want no smoke. I'm good.
Hey, since we're talking about Sabu, have you guys seen all the allegations that they're trying to accuse Brett Lauderdale and Joey Janela of like giving him kratom and this and that? And it's like kratom's not illegal for one. He's also a grown man. He's taking that shit every day, so it's like you can't control what he's gonna do. For them to put that blame on Brett and Joey it's wrong.
Yeah, we was just elaborating on that a bit.
Okay.
And the crazy thing about it is that I never heard of it. This was my first time actually hearing about it.
Oh, really?
And yeah, and being in the field that I work in, like it's my job. It's one of my jobs to know about these things and study it. You know what I mean? Because I work with people.
You're in the cannabis industry?
Huh?
Are you in the cannabis industry?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm a counselor.
Okay.
I try to wing people off of that stuff.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I've spent 6 years in the medical cannabis industry between Maryland and West Virginia. From what I know about kratom, it's a leaf. It comes from like Southeast Asia area. They grind it down into a powder in most forms. It can be in like liquid as well. But people use it to get off of opioids and heroin and stuff like that. It targets the opioid receptors in your brain. So it's, I guess, an alternative that you can use for that. But if you're using it when you're not trying to get off that stuff, it's gonna jack you up real good. Like, so who knows what he was taking? Taking extra doses of it or what?
Yeah, that's what I was hearing, man. I was like, wow, it's just it's a lot of information to absorb. I was when I'm at work right now on break, but I know later when we have our meeting, I'm going to be like, yo, did y'all know about this? I think we should do our research on this because this might be something that, a lot of people we work with might be trying to like involve with later on.
Yeah, and you
And you
can
can
get
get
it
it
anywhere.
anywhere.
Gas
Gas
stations,
stations,
these pop up dispensaries. They're
dispensaries,
not
they're
really
not really
dispensaries.
dispensaries.
That's
That's
usually where
usually
you'll
where you'll
find it
find it
all the
all the
time.
time.
And the
And
people
the
that sell
people that
it
sell
aren't
it
really
aren't really
educated about it.
educated
So
about
it's
it. So
like
it's like
someone coming
someone coming
into a
into a
facility like,
facility
hey,
like,
I
hey,
want
I
this
want
or
this or
that.
that.
They're just
They're
like,
just
all
like,
right, here
all
you
right, here
go.
you go.
They don't know
They
if
don't know
that's
if
good
that's
for you
good
or
for you or
not.
not.
And of
And
course,
of
it's
course,
not
it's not
regulated,
regulated
of
of
course,
course
either.
either.
Yeah, yeah, man, that's true. That's true. Well, I appreciate you guys for tapping in. I'm going to tap out at the moment, but I'm definitely going to try to go back and do.
I
Oh,
didn't
I
get to
didn't get
go,
to go,
bro.
bro.
So this was,
What'd you say?
I didn't
I
get to
didn't get to
go.
go.
Oh yeah, my bad, man. Go ahead, real quick, man. Before I tap out, bro. Go ahead, man.
Yeah,
Go
but
ahead.
my first time seeing Sabu when he
When he
came to
came to
WWF,
WWF,
the
the
invasion, the
invasion, the
ECW
ECW
invasion.
invasion.
I said, who's this guy jumping off the top of the road sign? I said, who's this guy jumping on tables and stuff? It's like, dang, where'd he come from? ECW. That's my first time meeting Sabu. Cause I wasn't able to get ECW where I'm at. We didn't get it. Not unless you like what you call that, trade tapes. That's my first introduction to Sabu and stuff. So yeah, he definitely was a legend.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know before we end the live. A lot of people don't know too. At that time, they had the invasion.
Yeah.
They already ECW was already under contract with WWE. If y'all go back even further than that, do y'all remember when Jerry the King Lawler and Jim Cornette was cutting those promos on ECW television? Y'all remember that?
I thought
I
that
thought
was
that was
Smokey
Smokey
Mountain.
Mountain.
Huh?
I thought
I
that
thought
was
that was
Smokey
Smokey
Mountain.
Mountain.
No, that was ECW, bro.
Hmm.
Y'all don't remember when they invaded the one match and they had and then Rob Van Dam came through and then he threw a chair.
Yeah, that was during the 1993-95 time when ECW was known as Eastern Championship Wrestling,
What I
and
remember,
that they were working alongside Smoky Mountain Wrestling.
yeah,
But what I'm saying is that they were under WWE contract, not at that time that you're talking. I'm talking about it was Jim Cornette. It was Jim Cornette and there was alliance with Jerry the King Lawler and
Yeah, USWA and Smoky Mountain.
yeah, and they were talking trash between WWE television and ECW television. They were going tit for tat with one another. So what ended up happening was Jerry the King Lawler said, "I'm going to show up on your ECW television," and that's exactly what happened too. He showed up with Jim Cornette. Jim Cornette was hitting people with the tennis racket, and then Rob Van Dam threw the chair and did a Van Daminator to somebody. Like it was crazy, man.
and I think Tommy Dreamer. Tommy Dreamer was on the show too. Tommy Dreamer. I remember that episode. It was Tommy Dreamer. It was the Dusty Boy. And Simon Diamond.
Yeah, so that ain't what you talking about, boss. That was the 94-95 tape of the Monday Night Raw.
Oh, okay. I got you. I understand now. Yeah.
So that was when Cornette had control of Smoky Mountain Wrestling. Jerry the King was still doing commentary for Monday Night Raw, but he had not sold over his rights to USWA yet, fully to WWE yet.
Yeah.
That's how he was using the Heavyweight Bomb and the Midnight Express to had those matches against the Smoking Guns. And that's how he had the ECW interference, which led to the preamble of the invasion angle after WCW was acquired from WWE. That was all a prelude to what was to come.
You're muted.
Oh yeah, I was muting because it was echoing. Chris just told me I was echoing, so I found a way to mute and everything. So
Yeah, man. Sabu was also in WW too.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I'm saying this to the guys in the comment section who requesting to come in. BARZ is about to get off the live for the next few hours. He's got to get back to work. So later on this evening, time permitting, we will finish up with this panel discussion about remembering the great Sabu. What's your fondest memories of him? We'll also talk about Evolution 2. What would you like to see on the card once it's officially announced? So stay tuned. Check out your notifications on TikTok to let you know when BARZ Media Wrestling will be live again. And for that, I'm handing it back over to BARZ. The BARZ can sign off for the day, for the afternoon, until this evening.
Yeah. So like the historian said, we'll try to come back on later on this evening, time permitting, and we'll dig deeper into the discussion and stuff like that, and we'll open up the panel as usual. I appreciate you guys for tapping in with me as usual. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody that was in the comment section. Chris, all y'all, appreciate y'all. Everybody on the panel right now. BJJ, thank you for coming in, man. Hey, listen, man, you got homework, man. Go on YouTube and look up Sabu, look up all his matches, and then if you come back on the live tonight, we're going to be questioning you, man. We're going to be asking you questions, man. Yeah, and
yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Panda, Dan, OJ. You know what I mean? We'll speak again this evening.
Yeah, sorry guys, I wasn't really in this time. I was getting calls like left and right.
No problem. Anytime, man. Like we'll be back on later on, man. So I'ma holler at you. Let me get back up in here before they put the search warrant out for me.
All right.
See y'all, man.